Learn with Peppa Pig. Stop that balloon. Peppa Pig and George are out with Granny and Grandpa Pig. They see Miss Rabbit selling bright balloons from her cart. Granny Pig gets a green balloon for George.
Wow!
She explains that he must keep a tight grip on it. But George lets go, and the green balloon floats off. Grandpa Pig grabs the string. George loves his green balloon. Polly Parrot likes a balloon too. Balloon! George soon forgets to grip his green balloon. He points to the trailing string as the balloon floats up the stairs.
Oh no!
Granny Pig groans when she sees the balloon float out of the attic. She yells, "Stop that balloon!" George starts to wail. Then they hear a screech from upstairs. Polly flaps her wings and sweeps into the sky. Will her flight bring back the balloon? Polly swoops back down with the balloon. George is delighted. George is afraid to let go of his balloon now. Daddy Pig fixes the smooth string to his arm. That will stop it floating off. Grandpa Pig exclaims, "Unless George floats off too!" The end. Peppa Pig, the fire engine. Mummy Pig is going to the Mummy's fire engine practice. "It's just a good excuse for a cup of tea and a chat," says Daddy Pig. "I'm meeting with the Daddy's football team and having a barbecue." "That's just a lot of grown-up boys kicking a football around," says Mummy Pig. "Mummy, can we see the fire engine?" asks Peppa. "Fine and done," says George. "Yes, Peppa, I'll take you and George," says Mummy Pig. Hooray! Mummy Pig drives Peppa and George to Miss Rabbit's fire station. "Hello, Peppa and George," says Miss Rabbit. "Come and see the fire engine." "There's a ladder for climbing," says Miss Rabbit, "a hose for squirting water, and a big bell to ring." Miss Rabbit takes them into the control room to look for fires.
Wow!
Peppa spots a red phone and picks it up. "Peppa, that's the fire phone," says Miss Rabbit. "It's only to be used when there's a fire." Peppa puts the phone down. Suddenly the red phone rings. Miss Rabbit panics. "Fire station, where's the fire?" says Miss Rabbit. "Can I talk to Mummy Pig, please?" asked Daddy Pig. "It's an emergency. I can't find the tomato ketchup anywhere." Miss Rabbit puts the phone down. "How many fires have you actually put out, Miss Rabbit?" asked Mummy Pig. None," replies Miss Rabbit. "Not one fire, but you've got to be ready." The red phone rings again. "Hello, Daddy Pig," says Miss Rabbit. "This phone is only to be used when there's a..." "Fire!" shouts Daddy Pig.
Oh no!
"Oh dear, Daddy Pig's barbecue is on fire." "Mummy's to the rescue!" says Miss Rabbit. Miss Rabbit slides down the pole to the fire engine. All the mummies slide down the pole. Peppa and George hold tight and slide down the pole too. They all get into the fire engine. Miss Rabbit puts on the siren and drives them to Peppa's house. The fire engine arrives at Peppa's house. "Stand back, daddies!" shouts Miss Rabbit. Mummy Pig and Mummy Sheep hose down the barbecue. The fire is out.
Hooray!
"Thank you for saving us, Miss Rabbit," says Daddy Pig. "No problem, it's all part of the service," says Miss Rabbit. "The Mummy's fire engine service," says Mummy Pig. "And now that Miss Rabbit has kindly flooded our garden," says Daddy Pig, "we can all jump up and down in muddy puddles." "I love fire engines," says Peppa, "especially when they make muddy puddles." The end. Peppa Pig, the Time Capsule. Peppa and her friends are at playgroup. They are making a time capsule to show people in the future how they live. "We'll put special things in this box and bury it," says Madame Gazelle. "Will it grow?" asks Susie Sheep. "No, Susie, it will remain in the ground for many years," says Madame Gazelle. "Now, children, what things should we put inside?" asks Madame Gazelle. "A comic," says Peppa. "Music," says Susie. "A toy," says Danny Dog. "A carrot," says Rebecca Rabbit. "What do you think the future will be like?" asked Madame Gazelle. "I think the future I will live on the moon," says Peppa, "and all my friends will come to visit." "I will fly a space rocket," adds Danny. The parents come to pick the children up. "Daddy Pig, you're just in time to help us dig a hole," says Madame Gazelle.
Hooray!
Everyone goes outside to bury the time capsule. Daddy Pig buries the time capsule. "When can we dig it up?" asks Peppa. "It will remain in the ground for many years," says Madame Gazelle. "I can't wait that long," says Peppa impatiently. Madame Gazelle laughs. "You're just like your daddy when he was little. Your parents made a time capsule when they were little too," says Madame Gazelle. "We buried it over here." "I thought it was a much smaller tree," says Daddy Pig. "The tree has grown since then," replies Madame Gazelle. Daddy Pig digs up the old time capsule. When they get back inside, it's time to open the old time capsule.
Hooray!
"Stand back, children," says Madame Gazelle. "Yes, Madame Gazelle," everyone replies. "What do we have here?" says Madame Gazelle. "An old comic, a tin toy, music, and a very old carrot."
Wow!
"That's mine," says Mummy Rabbit. "What a good choice, Mummy," says Rebecca. "And a videotape of your parents when they were little," says Madame Gazelle. "Who's the little piggy in the glasses?" asks Peppa. "That's Daddy Pig," replies Mummy Pig. "Oh, and that's me." "Hello, future," says little Daddy Pig. "What a squeaky little voice you have," says Peppa, laughing. "You're probably living on the moon now," says little Daddy Pig. "Silly little Daddy Pig," says Peppa. Making time capsules is lots of fun, but finding them is even better. The end. Peppa loves reading. Peppa and George are in the living room, looking at their books while Mummy and Daddy Pig read. Peppa notices something strange. Mummy, she says, why are you and Daddy reading the same book? It's our book club book, replies Mummy Pig. What's a book club? asks Peppa. A book club is where we read the same book as our friends so we can talk all about the story together. We're meeting tonight, says Mummy Pig.
Wow.
Uh-oh, gasps Peppa, looking over at Daddy Pig. Daddy needs to hurry up, says Peppa, giggling. He still has lots of pages left to read before tonight. Oh, really? Says Daddy Pig. I thought I was doing quite well. But then he sees that Mummy Pig has nearly finished her book, and he quickly gets back to reading. George and I love reading, says Peppa. Please can we have a book club with our friends today too? What a wonderful idea, Peppa, says Mummy Pig. Mummy Pig makes a few calls and invites some of Peppa and George's friends over to talk about the red monkey.
Wow.
Daddy Pig sits down to read with Peppa and George. Peppa begins. The red monkey sounds out Daddy Pig. That, says Peppa. The red monkey sat on the mat. Ooh, ooh, ha, 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 cries George. Wow, says Mummy Pig. What fantastic reading. When Peppa and George's friends arrive, they all talk about how much they enjoyed reading the book. I liked it when the red monkey sat on the mat, says Susie Sheep. Me too, says Peppa. Peppa and her friends help each other sound out the words. Ooh, ooh, ha, ha, shout George and Richard Rabbit, like little monkeys. Everyone has lots of fun reading together until the doorbell rings. Who's at the door? asks Peppa. It's Mummy and Daddy Pig's friends. Oops, says Daddy Pig. I've been reading The Red Monkey and forgot to read my own book. Let's talk about that instead, says Mr. Bull. I love The Red Monkey. Yay! cheer Peppa and her friends. Peppa and George love reading. Everyone loves reading. The end. Peppa Pig and the Halloween costume. It's almost Halloween. I love trick-or-treating, says Peppa. And jack-o'-lanterns. I love dressing up. George loves Halloween too. Peppa is trying to decide what she wants to be. I know, says Peppa. I will be a pirate. I will sail the high seas and hunt for buried treasure. But I'm going to be a pirate, says Danny Dog. I even have an eye patch.
Wow.
Maybe I'll be a clown instead, says Peppa. I will do a juggling act. I'm dressing up as a clown, said Pedro Pony. I have big clown shoes and a funny red nose. Okay, says Peppa. Maybe I will be a nurse. I will make everyone feel better. But Peppa, says Susie Sheep, I am dressing up as a nurse. Peppa frowns. Well then, I'll be a witch, with a pointy black hat and a broom. Peppa, says Candy Cat, I already have my costume, pointy black hat, broom, I'm a witch. George has an idea for Peppa. Dinosaur! Peppa does not want to dress up as a dinosaur. Peppa thinks she'd like to be a brave space traveller. But that idea is taken. Oh no! She even considers dressing up as a vegetable. Sorry, says Rebecca Rabbit. What can I be for Halloween? Asks Peppa. Maybe a brave cowboy, a happy tiger, a sparkly ballerina. Peppa thinks and thinks. Then she has an idea. I will be a brave, happy, sparkly fairy princess.
Hooray!
Peppa likes her wings, crown and wand, but her costume is not quite perfect. Peppa thinks that maybe there is something missing. That's it! Even fairy princesses need muddy paddle boots. Happy Halloween! The end. Peppa Pig and the library visit. It's bedtime for Peppa and George. Could we have a story, please? Asked Peppa. Okay, says Mummy Pig. Here's the one about the red monkey. We always read that one, says Peppa. The red monkey takes a bath, brushes his teeth, and he goes to sleep. Let's choose another book instead. Peppa goes to the bookshelf. There's a book about a blue tiger. A book about a green spider. A book about an orange penguin.
Wow!
And... Ugh, says Peppa. What's this one? The Wonderful World of Concrete, reads Mummy Pig. I've been looking for that, says Daddy Pig. It's a book I borrowed from the library. What's a library? asked Peppa. A library is a place where you can go to borrow books. When you're finished reading them, you take them back so others can borrow them, says Daddy Pig. He looks at the book. I have had this for rather a long time, Daddy Pig says. You can return it tomorrow, says Mummy Pig, but right now it's bedtime. After Daddy reads the story, Peppa insists. Daddy Pig begins to read. The Wonderful World of Concrete. Concrete is made of sand, water, and other things. Chapter 1. Sand. Sounds of snoring fill the room. Peppa and George are fast asleep. So is Mummy Pig. The next morning, Peppa and her family head to the library. Peppa can't believe how many books are on the shelves. Look at them all, she shouts. Shh, Peppa, says Daddy Pig. You must be quiet in the library, because people come here to read and to be quiet. Next, please, comes another shout. It's Miss Rabbit, the librarian. Hello, Mummy Pig, she says. Are you returning these books? Yes, Miss Rabbit. Mummy Pig gives her books to Miss Rabbit to scan, and the computer beeps as the books slide across the counter. Why is that computer beeping? asked Peppa. It's checking to see that you haven't been naughty and kept the book for too long. I may have kept this book for a bit too long, says Daddy Pig. Don't worry, says Miss Rabbit. Then her computer makes a loud, long beep. Daddy Pig, she shouts. You've had this book out for 10 years. Naughty Daddy, says Peppa. Now that Daddy Pig's book is returned, he can borrow another one. Peppa and George want to borrow books too. Miss Rabbit shows Peppa and George to the children's section.
Wow.
Ooh, says Peppa. There are books about princesses and animals and planets. Danny Dog and Susie Sheep are at the library too. Danny Dog is borrowing a book about soccer. Susie Sheep is borrowing one about doctors. George has chosen his book. It's about dinosaurs. Dinosaur, says George. Daddy Pig has found an exciting new book. Further Adventures in the World of Concrete. But Daddy Pig, says Peppa, I want a fun bedtime book. Mummy Pig pulls out a red monkey book. Not that again, says Peppa. It's boring. It's a different story, says Mummy Pig. Once upon a time, there was a red monkey. I know, says Peppa. He had a bath, brushed his teeth, and went to sleep, she says. No, says Mummy Pig. He had adventures.
Wow.
Ooh, say the children. They all gather around to see the book. Peppa wants to hear the story. We can read it at home, says Mummy Pig. But I already chose a book about a princess, says Peppa. Then she sees another book about birds. That book looks interesting too.
Wow.
Miss Rabbit has good news for Peppa. You can take up to 3 books home if you'd like.
Hooray!
Yippee, says Peppa. You just have to remember to bring them back on time, says Miss Rabbit. And that goes for you too, Daddy Pig. Peppa laughs. I'll make sure he remembers. I want to come back to the library all the time. I love the library. Back at home, it's bedtime. Mummy Pig opens the new red monkey book. Once upon a time, there was a red monkey. He jumped in a space rocket and went to the moon. The moon, says Peppa. What an adventure. Mummy Pig turns the page. He had a picnic with a dinosaur. Dinosaur, says George. Then the red monkey swam under the sea. Mummy Pig turns the last page. Finally, he climbed the highest mountain. That was a busy day. I think Daddy Pig agrees, says Peppa. Everyone looks. Daddy Pig is fast asleep. The end, whispers Mummy Pig. Sounds of Daddy Pig's snores fill the room. Everyone laughs. What a fun day. The end. Peppa loves. Peppa loves her best friend, Susie Sheep. I wish my tail was soft and fluffy like yours, says Peppa. I like your tail, Peppa, giggles Susie. It's cute and curly. Peppa loves dressing up.
Wow.
Look at me, cries Peppa. I'm a dancing fairy princess. Oh, your wings are really shimmery and shiny, says Nurse Susie. Peppa loves her golden boots. If you jump in muddy puddles, you must wear your boots, laughed Daddy Pig. My golden boots sparkle and glitter, says Peppa proudly. I'm going to make the biggest splash ever. Peppa loves bath time. Quack, quack, cries Peppa. Little duck, your wings are so smooth and bright. Quack, quack, giggles George. Splash!
Bonk, bonk.
Peppa loves her teddy. Time to go to sleep, Peppa and George, whispers Mummy Pig. Good night, Teddy, sighs Peppa. You're so cuddly and furry. Night, night. The end. Peppa Pig Bicycle Race. It is a lovely sunny day. Peppa and George are going out for a ride. Peppa rings her bell. Ding, ding. Come on, George, she says. Follow me. Peppa is riding her bicycle. George is riding his tricycle. Hurry up, George, calls Peppa. You're going so slowly, says George. Peppa sees her friends, Danny Dog, Susie Sheep, and Rebecca Rabbit. They are riding their bicycles too. Danny points down the hill. Let's have a race to the bottom, he says. Danny, Susie, and Rebecca ride very fast. Peppa rides quite fast. George does not ride very fast at all. George is riding a baby bike, snorts Peppa. So are you, says Danny. You've still got stabilisers. Peppa looks down at her bike. It is the only one with stabilisers on it. Let's ride up the hill again, says Danny. No, says Peppa. I think I'll stay here. Peppa asks Daddy Pig to take her stabilisers off. Do you think you can ride without them? He says. I can do it, Peppa nods. I can. She gets on her bicycle and starts pedalling. Uh-oh, Peppa falls onto the grass. Riding without stabilisers is hard. George giggles. It is not funny. Peppa frowns. Daddy Pig helps Peppa to get back on her bicycle. Let's try again, he says. Ready, steady, go. Don't let go of me, Daddy, says Peppa. Don't worry, says Daddy Pig. I've got you. Peppa pedals faster and faster. You're doing really well, shouts Daddy Pig. Peppa looks round. Daddy Pig has let go. Ho ho, he cries. You're cycling on your own. Peppa can ride on her own without stabilisers.
Wow.
She goes to find her friends. Look at me, shouts Peppa. I can ride my bike properly. Danny, Susie and Rebecca all cheer. Hooray!
Hooray!
Come on, says Peppa. Let's race down the hill again. Danny, Susie and Rebecca ring their bells. Peppa loves riding her bicycle. Everyone loves riding bicycles. The end. Peppa Pig, Cold Winter Day. It is a cold winter day. Peppa and George have wrapped up warm in their hats, scarves and mittens to go and feed the ducks. Look, it's a muddy puddle, cries Peppa. Peppa loves jumping in muddy puddles. She runs over to the puddle, but as she tries to jump in, she slips. Oh, it's frozen solid, she says. Snorts George. It's not funny, George, says Peppa. Daddy Pig loves muddy puddles too. Be careful, Daddy, shouts Peppa. Daddy Pig has jumped straight onto the frozen puddle. Whoa, says Daddy Pig, wobbling about. It's lucky I'm so good at balancing. Everyone keeps walking until they find the duck pond.
Wow.
Peppa and George throw some bread to the ducks, but it just bounces along the surface. The pond is frozen too. Peppa and George both giggle as the ducks slide around. Sorry for laughing, Mrs. Duck, says Peppa, but you do look funny. Look, it's snowing, says Daddy Pig. I'm going to catch lots of snowflakes, shouts Peppa. Says George as he tries to catch them too. Hello, Peppa and George, says Susie Sheep. We're going to have a toboggan race.
Wow.
Please, can we go and watch? asks Peppa. Of course, says Mummy Pig. Let's walk up the hill to the start.
Hooray!
Daddy Pig picks up George because it is too slippery for him to walk up the hill on his own. What about me? says Peppa. It's a bit slippery for me too. Come on then, says Daddy Pig, scooping up Peppa. Mummy Pig tells Daddy Pig to be extra careful not to fall over. Don't worry, Mummy Pig, he says. I'm very good at balancing. At the top of the hill, all the toboggans are just setting off when Daddy Pig topples over and starts skidding down the hill. He zooms past Danny Dog, Zoe Zebra and Pedro Pony. Soon, Daddy Pig is in the lead. Peppa and George are sitting on Daddy Pig's tummy. Whee! They call. They are enjoying the ride. Peppa and George win the race.
Hooray!
My daddy makes a great toboggan, Peppa tells everyone. All the children are laughing about Peppa and George's special toboggan ride. It's not funny, says Daddy Pig. It is a bit funny, says Mummy Pig. I suppose it is a bit funny. Daddy Pig agrees. Everyone laughs. The end. Peppa Pig. Daddy Pig can. Daddy Pig can swing a bat. Daddy Pig can wear a hat.
Hooray!
Daddy Pig can drive a van.
Wow!
Daddy Pig can use a pan. Daddy Pig can cut the grass. Daddy Pig can run so fast. Daddy Pig can set up camp.
Wow.
Daddy Pig can dance, dance, dance. Daddy Pig can form a band. Daddy Pig can play in sand. Daddy Pig can read a map. Daddy Pig can take a nap. Daddy Pig can take out trash. Daddy Pig can make a splash. Let's clap, clap, clap for Daddy Pig. The end. First words with Peppa Pig. Dens. Peppa's many friends came to play in her treehouse. The treehouse is yellow and its door is green. Grandpa Pig made the treehouse for us. It is the best, said Peppa. Peppa made tea for her 5 friends in the treehouse. Don't forget me, said Zoe Zebra. Don't be sad. I have made you some tea in the green cup, said Peppa. Danny Dog and Pedro Pony came to call at the treehouse. Is there room for us in your treehouse? Said Danny Dog. I don't think you will fit. There are 5 friends in here. There are too many friends in here, said Peppa. Grandpa Pig made a den for Danny and Pedro. I like its flag. It is the best, said Pedro Pony. If you pull this bit, its red door goes up and down, said Grandpa Pig. It has so many good bits. It is the best, said Danny Dog. Thank you. Peppa and her friends came to call at the den. Its red door was pulled down.
Wow.
Is there room for us in the den? Said Peppa. I don't think you will fit. There are too many friends in here, said Danny. Grandpa Pig got some string. If you pull the string from the treehouse to the den, you can call your friends, said Grandpa Pig. The friends pulled the string. The treehouse Grandpa Pig made for us is the best. Its door is green, called Susie Sheep. The den that Grandpa Pig made for us is the best. Its door goes up and down if you pull it, called Danny Dog. Peppa's 5 friends went to the den. The den is the best as the door goes up and down, they said. I don't think so. I still think the treehouse is the best. Its door is green, said Peppa. Then the rain came. The den did not have a roof. Many of the friends went back to the treehouse. The treehouse is the best as its roof will keep the rain off, they said. I don't think so. I still think the den is the best, said Danny Dog. Then the sun came back. The rain had made 5 spots of mud on the green grass. Now we don't want to go in the den or the treehouse, said Susie Sheep. The mud is best for us. The end. Peppa Pig International Day. Peppa and her friends are at playgroup. They are dressed up in costumes from lots of different countries. Today is International Day, when we celebrate all the countries of the world, says Madame Gazelle. I'm dressed as Australia, says Wendy Wolf. I'm Japan, says Zoe Zebra. And Richard is Spain. I'm the United Kingdom, says Freddy Fox. I'm America, says Pedro Pony. I'm Switzerland, says Candy Cat.
Meow.
I'm France, says Peppa. And George is Russia. What do all the countries of the world do? Asked Rebecca Rabbit. They sing the Song of Harmony together, says Madame Gazelle.
Wow.
Later, we will sing it for your parents.
Hooray!
Hooray! Everyone shouts. The children like singing. Now it is playtime. All the countries are playing in the playground. Play nicely together, calls Madame Gazelle. France and Switzerland are having a lovely time on the swing.
Meow.
Laugh Peppa and Candy. The other countries are having fun too.
Hooray!
Australia and the United Kingdom are on the slide. Japan and South Africa are on the roundabout. Germany and Spain are playing hopscotch.
Wow.
Holland and Mexico are playing with the tire swing. Russia, Greece, Spain and America are playing together in the sandpit. I'm building a big sand castle, says America. Yee-haw! The sandpit is just the right size for 4 countries to play in. Can we play in the sandpit now? asks Japan. We can't all fit in, says America. You can play on the side, says Holland. But we want to play here, says America. Russia, Greece and Spain are upset. Hello, 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 cries the United Kingdom. What's all this noise about then? Everyone tries to explain. France thinks that Holland is being a bit bossy. Holland thinks it's Russia's fault. Leave George alone, he's only little, cries France. Oh dear, the countries of the world are not playing nicely together. That is enough! Is this how you think the countries of the world behave? Demands Madame Gazelle. Don't they? asks France. Of course not, says Madame Gazelle. All the parents have arrived. How is International Day going? asks Mummy Rabbit. Not too bad, says Madame Gazelle. We will now sing for you. Madame Gazelle plays her guitar as all the children sing this Song of Harmony. Peace and harmony in all the world. Peace and harmony in all the world. Peace and harmony in all the world. Peace and harmony. Peppa and her friends love singing together in harmony. All the countries of the world love singing together in harmony. The end.
Hi kids, did you have fun watching this video? Then like and subscribe for more.